Most of the times when we hear the word relationship or partners, we automatically think about love. And love starts with an attraction. And this attraction has led so many people in the wrong hands. Because you fall in love because you've been attracted to them, and then you move too fast, and when the mask comes off, you see the true nature of this person, and some of it is very ugly. Love is what keeps people bonded to each other and committed to each other, and it can sometimes be healthy and sometimes be unhealthy. So today in this episode, we'll talk about healthy and unhealthy love. Welcome to Minding Your Mind. My name is Kate Roiro.
And my name is Joy Eve. I'm a therapist.
My name is Terry.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. And we're going to head straight on. Kindly, as a doctor, from a professional view.
Yeah.
Before I think we talk about unhealthy love and healthy love, we need first to understand what love is, because it's a mystery. For me, it's a mystery.
Yeah. So, love. All right. So when you mention love, I can go directly into the different categories of love. There's erotic love. There's filial. Filial is the kind of love you have for a brother and a sister. There's also unconditional love. There's just so many categories of love. But love is really that aspect of wanting to be with someone. You know, that aspect of wanting them to share your space, a sense of acceptance, especially of the perspective of the person you have encountered. So a person that you feel like you really want to be involved with in your life. That's a form of love. You know, it could express itself in a passionate way where you are passionately attracted to them and you have all these feelings and you just want to be part of their lives, you know.
Wow.
And it's the same thing with also brother sister love. You know, you have already gotten to know the other person, you have accepted them, that aspect of accepting the other person, and you wouldn't mind sharing your space with them. That's actually like filial kind of love. Unconditional love is where you know the other person, their weaknesses, but you choose to actually accept them and allow them into your space. So in that space, that's where now there's a lot of feelings, there's a lot of emotions and everything. So love is very complex, but it's really a form of acceptance or a want of somebody into your space.
Wow. And I believe in humans, it's inherent. You're born with the need to love
and to be loved.
Yes. And Terry, thank you for being here. I believe, of course, your age allows you to have fallen in love or be in love. Well, how can you describe that experience for you?
Okay. When I talk about love, love is something, let me describe love is lush, is passionate. Love is it carries all the emotions in it. And the time that you are in love, it's something that love is something that makes you turn to be another person. Because now you have added another person into your life. You're not the self person, the self I. So there's another person whom you're sharing the love with. That's what I can call love.
Wow. So it has ignited a lot of passion in you, right?
Yeah.
Wow, and love is a beautiful thing.
It's
very
a good thing.
Yeah, because love is not bad at all. Actually, when we are talking about unhealthy love, it's not that love is bad in itself. It's the people who portray certain traits that make it unhealthy. Maybe, I don't know, we'll talk about it, of course, as we are proceeding. And I believe it also happens in stages, in different stages, and it's very important for us to understand how it happens.
All right. So it really depends. Love love occurs, it has different stages depending on the situation. So if it's a lady guy relationship, it always starts passionately. It's called erotic love, where there's a lot of passion and emotion, and
the passion.
you know. So what happens is that most of the times you're in love with the person who you have met. It's called first impression feeling. So this person who you've met, they're not flawed. They are perfect. They are taking you out for dinners. They are exactly what you've always imagined in your mind, and you're in this space of, it's like a bubble. So you can do anything in that bubble because it's like your heaven. So what happens is that you need to know it's a good thing. It always starts there, but you also need to be conscious that yes, there's that aspect of this person, but this person is also not perfect. You need to prepare your heart and your mind to actually know that, you know, you tend to know the other person, the other aspects of this person, including for you, they will know also your aspect of, and which will not be so nice sometimes, you know. So I can say it starts there, where you have this, it's called a persona, the first impression. This person is wearing nice cologne, you know, they're opening a door for you, you know, they're ordering cabs for you, however it's expressed, you know, like it just feels so accepted, so loved, and everything. So it always starts there. Then it goes to a space where now, after you have you're still in that bubble, and then now you go deeper, you tend to spend more time with the person, and then you realize, whoa, this person is actually human. They get angry, and when they're angry, there's a way they respond. So I think from there, that's when now people start conflicting. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing, you know. So getting to know the person on this other side. So what happens is that it normally happens when people now start disagreeing, when you guys are able to move past that
disagreement.
Now you guys are likely to actually come to a place of settlement, where you can actually have moments, conscious moments of actually expressing, having passionate moments, but also having moments where you guys have accepted each other regardless of how you've seen this person. So that aspect of knowing that person for who they really are, that's what brings a lot of conflict. And that's where now we talk of healthy and unhealthy, that aspect of the other person that you have not necessarily experienced. That's when now it's basically learning how to live with another person. A person who's flawed. So if you don't know how to live with a person, accepting them, dealing with conflict, communication, that's when now we term it either healthy or unhealthy, depending on the aspects of basic relational interaction.
So after you've seen your devil with his horns, and you're like, this is the devil I've chosen, you're now ready to move on to the... And I think that stage is a very important stage, because you get to know the person as they are.
So if you're not used to, the thing is, I said it also depends with the environment you've come from. If you're from an environment where you've seen your mother and father, you know, they're healthy relationships. So the child is, as they grow, they know, this person is not perfect. So they're likely to transition well, you know, and they're able like to identify a healthy relationship, and they're able to pull out very quickly because it's already instilled in there. So if you have come from a dysfunctional family, you may not know. So that's why you find when you have come from a dysfunctional family, you're like, I found myself in the same dysfunctional space. It's not that it's your fault. You just don't know what functionality even looks like. And it's not your fault. It's just a matter of, and that's why I said, you don't put yourself in a pedestal. You become human so that you can be helped. But when you're there, you try to mask everything. You're trying to be perfect. So nobody will help you continue in a cycle of suffering. But when you're human, you kupigania yenyewe. I'm from a dysfunctional place, and you can get help, and you can get out of it, learn, and get now yourself into now a healthy relationship.
Wow. And I believe all of us, when we are entering into relationships, we are always the perfect person.
But of course,
You know, you're the perfect person. And I believe, Terry, in your relationships, you have experienced these stages. Did you go the complete cycle until you settled, or can you share?
okay, when you're into a relationship, let me start there. There is that trend, you know, when the person is trying to kukukatia and all that, you try to play hard to get. Like, I'm not, you know, like a text, you're taking time to delay to reply. Then there is that, you know, kuna venye anajaribu kufikia, kukutumia tu pesa, with money, with whatever, sweet words in the morning, hi baby, hi sweetie, then yani inaanza sasa hapo. So the moment that you give a date, now things start from there. So you follow the procedure. But now the mistake that we make as ladies, and I came to realize that
From experience?
from experience. Once you get this guy, maybe that guy, when amekuja with that kilove kingi, take off your mind, so kila time hata uko like, this is God sent, you know. So tunasahau vitu mingi sana, so tunakuwa tumeshajiingiza kwa mtego yenye tungefuata zile procedure, but because of the things that
glamour,
yes, we divert. Na hapo ndipo mademu wengi tunapoteleanga, because we don't take our time to know what kind of person is this. Am I heading to the right track? Am I heading to the wrong track? Is this guy the right guy for me, or the, you know? Yeah.
Well, would you say for you, like, those are some of maybe the things you missed? Because unajua tukiwa in that euphoric stage, like, we don't see past the glamour. You know, we don't see past iso gifting and you know, vitu grando, we don't see past that. Like, wewe unaweza sema, like, maybe if in your failed relationship, those are the things you missed to see.
Okay. Let me say, in my first relationship, niliachwa kwa mata. Okay, nilikuwa nimeona hiyo kitu ikikuja, but nilikuwa nimefuata zile procedure because nilikuwa naogopa na najaribu ku avoid. I have my own standards. I have my own lanes that I need to follow, and I'm seeing my future because I know this guy at 29 venye nili heartbreak because it was random, it was unexpected, it was sasa the second guy, and I avoided him, let me say, because this guy, I'm trying to heal.
He's kind of a rebound.
So the time I'm healing, naenda nikisahau yule, now it's the time nimekuja nimeheal, sasa nimeshaanza sasa kuingia sasa into a relationship. He maybe, I don't know whether he thought I'm in love or not in love, but I was trying to learn. To learn him, kumsoma, ninataka pia ku fall in love again, because if it doesn't work for you, the other one, not all relationships that haziwezi kuwakia, there are others that will work for you best. So nikaanza kujipatia nijipatia space, sasa nataka a good relationship. Mapenzi wewe, mapenzi ni tamu. Let me use the word. Because nilikuja nika fall in love with the guy after some time, after kufuata hizo, you know, but at the end of it is
with the wrong person.
It didn't go as expected, but anyway, call a spade, jembe a jembe, fork a fork.
And if it's not working,
for you, leave. Haujafungiliwa hapo. So shit happened, and I had to
move on.
You had to move on.
Wow. And as vile tunasema, most of the time, you know, tunaingianga kwa relationships tukiwa the perfect person. We don't like give the other partner a chance, we don't learn them, you know, we don't know their needs. Tunaangalianga tu me, what do I want, what makes me happy, what works for me, like we don't take time.
Yeah.
So when we are saying like the other person is toxic, we don't look back to check whether we are actually the ones who are toxic. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. And I don't know, at what time did you come to realize like your high work, like what are the things you noticed, what was happening?
Okay.
Give us the tea.
Let me say, in that relationship, tulikuwa tumebond sana. Let me say, because to detach from it, it didn't take time. It didn't take a lot of time. He came to change after 3 years. After 3 years ndo tukuje tumalize mwaka yetu ya 4 ndo things to turn to be toxic. Hapo nipo sikuwa naona red flag because nilikuwa nimefungwa macho, so sikuwa naona the other side of things.
What are these toxic behaviors ama the toxic hizo red flags zenye ulikuwa unaona but una ignore?
Okay. Red flags ni kama, najua relationship ikianza kuna venye communication, it's perfect. Kuna ile honesty, kuna ile, you know, ati hata nikikucall, despite maybe you not call, you not pick the call at that time, you just cut me, I'll call you later, you know. But now you have called the person, takes the whole day, haja kureply, hajatuma kama nika short message, hajakwambia anything.
They are ghosting you.
Yes, so he'll just reply to your message ama text you maybe around usiku. Ile time hata una hamu ya kuongea naye. So those are type of red flags zenye zilikuwa zinapass. Maybe tulikuwa tumezoea kwenda out zetu. So zimeanza kuwa minimal. Venye saa unataka ile time unamhitaji ndio anakuavoid. Na ile time yeye anakuhitaji, he expects you to be there. So I started seeing, as in these things are not, this guy is not the way he used to be. And then his characters, the way I used to know him, there are things that are changing. Movements zake zimebadilika. So that's time you
hakuna mpaka transparency.
Yeah, the transparency is not there. So you start seeing another face of the person. But sasa hautaki kumjudge. You just say maybe ako busy. Maybe these are, and then they justify themselves in, nimekuwa busy. Ati sijakuna time, had a meeting, bra bra bra, etc. So because uko blended na love, unamcover up, unasema it's okay babe. No problem.
Wow.
So hizo ndio red flags zenye zilikuwa zenye sikuwa naona. Alafu unapata maybe you used to take his phone, go through his phone. Now the password inachange anytime. Like I can pick that phone, nikijaribu kuweka password si yenye ilikuwa, na ile time ulikuwa mna date and whatever, hiyo time hata alikuwa anakuambia shika simu, take it, check. Hata ungeingia Facebook yako, uende uscroll Facebook yako, yani your account kwa yake, unaanza kuflow nayo, ama uende kwa picha kwa account yake, unaanza kufuata, you know, but now it's restricted. Always.
Wow. And Joy, since tumesema hii stage sasa after the glamour imeisha, hii stage ya kujuana, you know, when the rubber hits the road, there is a lot of, you know, your conflict, you're getting to know the true colors of this person. That's when toxic behavior was in a surface. Like the true nature of this person. So what are some of the signs zenye like a person can notice of unhealthy love?
I think first is to know what healthy love is. You know, so I think one of the most important things, it's just basic, you know, individual interaction with a person. So yes, we are in love, but how are we communicating? You know, how are you like treating me? Are you respecting me? You know, are you allowing me to know you? Like, are you allowing yourself to know my boundaries? Are you allowing to know me as a person? Because
Yeah.
most of the times what happens is that during that time you need to know this person, you know, need to know my weaknesses, my strengths, and also like the things I like, the things I don't like. That's how like a relationship like in a grow.
Yeah, and because maybe I'm changing my password because I feel my boundaries are being violated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for that really, because I think there needs to be openness and honesty in a relationship. I can say that you can't be perfect. You
Yeah.
can't always be available sometimes. We need to be able to know we are both working sometimes, but then you can't always be busy
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's always every time,
Yeah.
but there are moments where you know the person is working, and then it's like at the beginning you need to be able to build that sense of trust. Sometimes, you know, I cannot necessarily condemn a person because they want to check at the other person's phone, because sometimes you just want to be able like to feel a sense of like this person is not cheating on you or something.
To affirm something.
Yeah.
To affirm some doubts
Yeah,
maybe
and-
you have.
And it's not like it's not a crime, because if you guys are in the relationship, it's your relationship. So it shouldn't be something that should, you know, like be such a big deal sometimes, you know. Yeah, because it's part of building trust. So if you're able to like navigate that and both of you are like the trust is good, then now even if you conflict, it's easy to mend things.
You're assured
know.
of that person's love.
Yeah. So I cannot necessarily condemn somebody for wanting to check. 'Cause sometimes you just want to know, is this person really for me, or, you know. But if they are great, if they are not, then you may need to sit down and talk. And why is this thing happening? But if it's constantly close, then why? Because it's a form of somebody like locking their life from you, so you can't even tend to know them. So it's also like not allowing your relationship to also grow.
Wow.
You know.
And someone was asking, of course, someone among us was asking the role of communication in building maybe a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because from me, my take, I don't think, you know, passing through someone's phone is necessary.
Yeah.
You know, like ati ndivo ukwe assured like that person is honest with me, because the moment you're taking his phone to go through it, you already have some doubts about maybe his character. Maybe he has a questionable character, and you want to see. And these are things that you should communicate with your partner. Communicate with your partner the fears that you have. Communicate with your partner if you think he has some questionable behavior, because if you're going on the phone, you will find what you're looking for, because already you're subjective. So what is the role of communication in a relationship?
So communication is what builds a relationship. So basically it's the most important thing. A person, we are not superhuman, we are human. So unless you tell me what you like, what you don't like, who you are, I can never tend to know you. So if you're closed off, I will not know your boundaries, the things you like, and the relationship cannot grow, because you're not robots. This is a similar robot, and no, this is a whole different human being coming from a different background, have experienced different traumas and everything. So being able like to talk, you are able to know the person. You're also able to know, how are we going to, we've come from these spaces, how can we be able even to grow together? These are your weaknesses, your strengths and everything. How can we, you know, move forward? You know, you're talking to me like this, why? You know. And then they'll be like, by the way, that's how I know how to talk.
And you will communicate how you like to be talked to.
And then they'll be like, oh, okay. And then now they'll be like, by the way, you know, my wife doesn't like to be talked to like this. You know, so even the spouse is conscious of how they're dealing with you. It's also a form of, even in a relationship, you need to be able to take care of yourself. And communication gives you that aspect of taking care of yourself
Wow.
self-identities, you know, yeah.
Wow. And you always tell me, like, when someone is doing, you know, things that you don't like, don't vindicate the person. Address the behavior and how it makes you feel.
Yeah. So I've had couples who have come for therapy, and the time you tell the spouse all, you know, to say how they feel about a particular situation, the husband is like, Henny, you've been feeling this way all this time.
Imagine.
And I'm like, how come you have never and the guy's like, I've never known.
Yes.
I've always known the things that I'm doing has been the right thing. And the wife is like, no.
Or maybe even when the wife is addressing them, she's not addressing the issue and address the jamaa, hata hunifanyiangi, wewe ni, you know. Wewe ni.
You're more subjective other than objective. You know, so it's very, very important to be able to even be open to communication. It's the boundary, and it's the foundation of actually building a healthy relationship.
Wow.
You know, from scratch up.
Wow. So you, Terry, like when you were in that conflict, did you ever communicate how you like to be treated, how you like to be loved? You know, if I talk to you, I'd appreciate if you'd make some effort to, you know, even if, like, if you can't talk right now, just say, I can't talk right now. Like, did you ever communicate your needs?
Okay. Yeah, I used to. I used to communicate. I used to tell him maybe when he has done me what I don't like. I used to tell him, whatever you have done there, you have done wrong. I don't like that. And whatever he does good, I do appreciate. Mistake with as ladies also, we also do. Amekataa kuchukua simu. Umekataa kuchukua simu zangu. You know, full-scap zikianza kutoka hapo zinaanza kuflow. So by the end of the day, rush to something yenye umecreate to be a huge thing, or which is something that you could have waited for. And when the guy comes, you know, so I used to communicate like that instead of writing a full scap. Later nitakuja nimwambie venye ulifanya mtafanyangi hivyo na mimi sijafurahia.
Wow, so you were addressing the person or the behavior?
I was at the moment you're addressing the person, you're also addressing his behavior. Yeah.
So did you address the person or the behavior?
I addressed the person.
You see, that's what we're talking. Because most of the time we, you know, not addressing the person like, this is my guy, I'm addressing this guy. Like what you were saying, like did you direct it to his behavior and how he made you feel, or you addressed it to his person?